Hi, everyone. Welcome to Centered Healers. My name's Debbie Joe, and I am jumping on here today just to have a little conversation, just because that's what I do. What am I going to chat about? Well, the first and foremost, we're just going to cover, are aliens real? Yes or no? Put a message in the chat box or wherever you're seeing this. Just simply say yes and no, yes or no. I really am just kind of curious about the masses of how many people believe that they are real or they don't, just so it's a little self study. So, yesterday, I'm going to share, like, I don't know if you can see it. It's a receipt. So I went out to purchase some things because we're doing like a little birthday party this afternoon for a friend of ours, and I was going to a local store where I typically go and get that nos, and just by chance bumped into this individual and had the most amazing conversation. It left me excited. It left me really wanting to ask more questions. Let's just be real. So, not going to name names, not going to say where, just because this person probably has no idea I'm doing this, and darn it. But we were chatting just about um, sociology, human behavior, animal behavior, all these things that I find fascinating, the whys and hows of what people do. This person is retired military. Um, did say he had top security clearance. Don't know exactly what that means. So we'll just leave it there. And of course, the curiosity got the better of me. And I looked at this person and said, "So, are aliens real?" And the response that I got back was, if you had $1 million and I had $1 million and we were betting people, that we'd probably be, you know, we'd win. I was like, well, that was a good incognito way. Gave him a fist bump and was like, that was a good way. And of course, there's other people around, so there's just not one person. And we were discussing some of the things that were going on, and I asked him, I'm like, was it worth it? Was your service worth it? Not anything against it. I'm grateful for people's service. I'm grateful for the things that people have sacrificed, because these people go in and they get all these vaccinations, they get all this type of stuff. Well, we finally came around to the DNA of it, and I was like, well, right, because we have 15 to 20 minimum generations of DNA within us. And he was like, you're right. And he was just like, you're really fascinating. How do you know all this stuff? And I'm like, well, I'm a researcher and I understand energy, like not in that context, but because I just don't come out and tell people do energy healings, y'all. Just haven't got there yet, and that's okay. But it left me wondering, because one of the conversations we had about the aliens were, you know, the fact that they believe humanity could not handle the aliens, and talking about animal behavior, that type of thing. And, you know, animals can't reason like we can. And the separation of the fact of that, because we could reason, we could handle and decide and choose and make choices to better our circumstances and environment. And now I'm an avid animal lover, so I have a little bit of a fine line here because I've been with animals since I was a kid and studied them my whole life. So this begs to differ the question, can you handle, if there was an alien show up, would you be able to handle the whole outcome? Now, understanding that they indoctrinate and they manipulate us with fear tactics, proven time and time again, it's proven. They're fear driven. They're fear mongrels. I'm sorry. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Not life isn't always fun and roses, but this is a realist, authentic approach, right? This is a true understanding. We see it on TV every day. Could you handle seeing aliens, and would you be able to reason in your mind that they're not here to hurt us, they're here to help us? We don't know, but I'm just saying. Or could you reason between whether it was real or if it was a false flag or whatever they decide to say, right? The thing of it is, so I have horses. Drones fly around. The horses are not bothered. I get they don't have reason, right? They can't reason that that might be harmful. They might look at it and be like, okay, well, that's a new kind of like bird, but they don't freak out. Very rare. There were birds. They weren't freaking out with the drone that was here yesterday morning. I freaked out because I'm like, who's flying a drone? Okay, off subject. I get it. Back to the aliens. But this is the thing. The military and our higher upper level officials believe that we can't handle it. Now, I'll tell you, we're prodigies of our sociological environments, and yes, we can reason to choose to have a better life, and we can make the steps to choose to have a better life. But to say that I've seen humanity in catastrophic, went through Ivan, saw a Katrina, lived on the Gulf Coast, seen the tornado come through where I live here, community was there. It wasn't like they were fleeing. People were running to a catastrophe to try to help, save other people. It bothers me that that's what they think of you, me, and humanity, that they think that we would absolutely be pandemonium. And I chuckled about it just because I wanted to keep the conversation going. Mind you, I'm a curious person. So I was like, yeah, I guess we could see that. But my thing of it is we have all these people out here talking, working through, trying to prep people to see whether or not, like, just to open your mind. So this is a law of 100. I want this to be shared. Of course, I'm going to use I. Could you please share this and ask people yes or no question? Do you believe in aliens? Please, for the benefit of centered healers and this little bit of weirdo-ness in me that absolutely would like to know, like, how many yeses can we get and how many no's can we get? I know there's like got to be probably a study out there. I haven't found it yet. I'm a researcher by nature, along with energy healing and all the crazy things, crystals, everything, all piled into one thing. But I'm also a history buff. And I told that person yesterday, I said, history repeats itself. You're creating the same cycle to get the same result. That's the definition of insanity. So if our military and our government are like in this place where they keep repeating the same cycle, and genetically we've got 15 to 20 generations of DNA within us, we've already got that trigger within us coded to have already experienced these cycles over and over again. So when we start feeling like there's this wave of stuff coming at us and that we're waiting for the other shoe to drop, or whatever analogy you want to choose to talk about it, then what does it trigger within us? We start hoarding food. We start doing all these. We start doing this manic prep of this big colossal fall of humanity that's brooding because it's energetically being filled because we're now in a sequence that we haven't in our genetic understanding seen before. Like if we have 15 to 20 generations, well, then that means 100 times 20 is 2,000 years. And if Aquarius hasn't been around and dragon energy hasn't been around in this type of energy, we're talking about spectral, right? Everything is energy. Like, and we're having these solar flares that we haven't seen. Some of them haven't been this big since, I don't know, in the 1800s, I think. We're also having cicadas that haven't been out since 1803. Simultaneously, if you sit there and listen to them, they're in waves, right? It is an eerie feeling. Well, you don't have, like, do you have enough genetics to get back that far, or you've never just experienced it, but it's unlocking things that are in you. So I get really excited about this stuff, y'all. So I'm weird. And I believe, I believe that humanity is so ready for freedom, true freedom from this elitist group that seems to be controlling the world, as many people seem to say, that they're not going to be shocked, and that they do believe aliens are real, and that they do believe that there's something greater out there in the universe or whatever. But yes or no? This is all I'm asking. I know this is 11 minutes and that's all I got. And I just want to know. I just want to share these numbers with you. Yesterday was 5/24/24. You break that down. I checked out at the cash register at 13:33 military time, go figure. And there was all these eights and nines, which is enlightenment and sequencing of creation and all this other type of stuff because I'm a numerology buff. But it got me because my TC number, it was pretty cool. And it was like 2228-8547-7899-4264. Like, those are like all my numbers. So it was, as random as the conversation was, it was also a brilliant conversation. And it led me to document it just simply because sometimes we don't need to forget about those moments in life, because at the end, like in the conversation, him and whatever, it was like, you're different. I'm like, yeah, I know I'm different. But besides that, I was wanting information, especially when I found out what he did for a career. And so, guys, I have faith in humanity. It might look bleak in some cases, but the law of 100 is real. Let's get this out there. Let's stop sitting and brooding. That's funny. Over what's coming, and start sharing our light and start walking out into public shining like you were created to shine. And, at the end of the conversation, I was stressed about some stuff. Looked at me, he's like, you look pretty stressed. And I was like, yeah. I said, but I'm an energetic being having a human existence. I said, so if all this other stuff, money, because it was always, that kept coming up, money, right? It's all about the corporatism and money and making the mighty dollar. And I looked at him and I was like, but none of it really matters, because we were supposed to go and do greater things, even though, sorry, I'm not biblical, because I feel like that was a big whatever. It doesn't matter. Another subject. But my tangent is almost over, I swear. Promise, not swear, promise. I need to know, yes or no, in the comments. Are aliens real? Yes or no? I'll put it in the comments. Everybody have a wonderful day. It's 5/25/24. Changes amongst us. Energies are kind of crazy. We've got the rest of the month. We've got just another week to go. Everything's going to be beautiful and flowy. Hopefully, that's what I'm holding space for every single person that watches this. Much love and light to you. And I kind of excited just to go out into public more often. Bye, guys. Till next time. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Help grow the baby channel. And just kind of gives me encouragement.